Smart English Podcast.
Let's talk about everything.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Smart English Podcast. My name is Jessica, and today we are talking about something very useful and real life, which is ordering food at a restaurant. Because, this is something many English learners feel nervous about.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian. And yeah, that's true. Because ordering at a restaurant sounds simple, but when you actually sit there and the waiter comes, your mind suddenly becomes, empty.
Yes, exactly. You practice at home like, I will say this, I will say that. But in the real situation, you just say, food, please.
Yes, one food, please.
Very clear order.
Very simple English.
But today, we will help make it easier and more natural.
So let's imagine you walk into a restaurant. What is the first thing that usually happens?
Usually a waiter or staff member will say something like, hello, how many people? Or table for two?
Yes. And sometimes they ask, do you have a reservation?
If you booked a table before, you say, yes, I have a reservation, and give your name.
But if you don't have one, you can just say, no, just two people.
Very simple.
But sometimes people get nervous and say something like, I am two persons.
Yes, that sounds a little funny.
Like one person with two personalities.
That is a different situation.
Very different.
After you sit down, the waiter usually gives you the menu and says something like, here is the menu, or take your time.
Yes. And then comes the most difficult part, choosing food.
Yes, because everything looks good.
And suddenly you want to order everything.
But you have to choose.
When the waiter comes back, they usually ask, are you ready to order?
If you are ready, you can say, yes, I'd like, and then say the name of the dish.
Like, I'd like a chicken sandwich, or I'd like some pasta.
Yes, very natural and polite.
But sometimes people say, give me chicken.
That sounds a little strong.
Like a command.
Yes, better to say, I'd like, or can I have?
Another common thing is asking about the menu.
Like asking questions?
Yes. Like, what do you recommend, or what is popular here?
That is very useful, especially if you are not sure what to order.
And sometimes the waiter gives a very long explanation.
Yes, and you just smile and say, okay.
Even if you didn't understand anything.
That happens a lot.
I think it is also important to know how to ask for drinks.
Yes, you can say, can I have a glass of water? Or I'd like a coffee.
Or sometimes, I need coffee.
That sounds very serious.
Emergency coffee situation.
Very important.
So overall, ordering food is not about perfect English. It is about clear and polite communication.
Yes, simple sentences are enough, and don't worry about small mistakes.
We will talk more about special situations, like making changes to your order and dealing with funny restaurant moments.
And maybe some ordering mistakes that create interesting situations.
Yes, those are always fun.
Brian, we talked about basic ordering, but now, I think we should talk about what happens when you want to change your order or ask for something special, because that can feel a little stressful.
Yeah, that's true. Because sometimes the menu looks good, but you want to change something small, like less spice or no onions. And then you start thinking, how do I say this?
Yes, and sometimes people just stay quiet and eat everything, even if they don't like it.
Yes, I don't like onions, but okay, today I eat onions.
Very brave.
Very emotional moment with onions.
So a simple way to ask is saying, can I have this without onions? Or can you make it less spicy?
Yes, those are very useful and polite sentences.
Or you can say, can I get this with rice instead of fries, if you want to change the side dish?
Yeah, and most restaurants are okay with small changes.
But sometimes people feel shy to ask.
Yes, especially when the restaurant is busy and the waiter looks serious.
Yes, you look at the waiter and think, maybe I should not ask.
Maybe I will just eat everything and stay quiet.
Yes, that happens a lot.
Another situation is when you don't understand something on the menu.
Yes, menus can have difficult words sometimes.
Like names of dishes or ingredients you never heard before.
In that case, you can say, what is this? Or what does this dish have?
Or even, sorry, I don't understand this.
Yes, that is completely okay.
Better to ask than to order something surprising.
Yes, surprise food.
Sometimes good surprise, sometimes not so good.
I also think it is important to know how to order politely.
Yes, using words like please and thank you makes a big difference.
Like, can I have a coffee, please? Sounds much nicer.
Instead of coffee.
Yes, very short.
Very direct.
Another funny situation is when the waiter asks a question and you don't hear it clearly.
Yes, that happens all the time.
The waiter says something like, still or sparkling? And you are like,
Yes, and you just say yes.
Yes to what?
Now you get something random.
Surprise drink.
In that situation, it is okay to say, sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes, that is very important and very normal.
Another moment is when your food arrives.
Smiling, the best moment.
The happiest moment.
Finally, food.
Everyone becomes quiet.
Yes, no more talking.
Only eating.
But sometimes the order is wrong.
Yes, that can happen.
In that case, you can say politely, sorry, I think this is not what I ordered.
Yes, no need to be angry. Just explain calmly.
Most of the time, the staff will fix the problem.
And sometimes you get extra food.
Bonus food.
Best mistake.
I think ordering at a restaurant becomes easier with practice.
Yes, the more you do it, the more confident you feel.
And remember, you don't need perfect English, just simple and clear sentences.
We will talk about paying the bill and leaving the restaurant, and maybe some funny situations at the end.
Yes, especially bill moments.
Those are always interesting.
Brian, now let's talk about the final part of the restaurant experience, which is paying the bill, because sometimes that moment can feel a little awkward or confusing.
Yeah, very true. Especially when the bill comes and everyone suddenly looks at each other like, so, who is paying?
Yes, that silent moment.
Nobody wants to make eye contact.
Everyone is suddenly very interested in their phone.
Yes. Very important message.
Very busy suddenly.
So usually when you want the bill, you can say something simple like, can we have the bill, please?
Yes, that is very polite and natural.
Or in some places, people say, check, please.
Yes, both are okay.
But sometimes people sit and wait and the bill never comes.
Yes, because in many restaurants, they don't bring the bill until you ask.
So you sit there thinking, are we living here now?
New home.
Free table forever.
Another situation is splitting the bill.
Yes, that can be a little confusing sometimes.
You can say, can we split the bill if each person wants to pay their own part?
Or we'll pay together if one person is paying.
And sometimes one person says, I will pay, and the other says, no, I will pay.
Yes, friendly argument.
Very polite fight.
Let me pay. No, I will pay. No, me.
That happens a lot.
And then there is tipping.
Yes, tipping is different in different countries.
Yes, in some places tipping is expected, and in others it is not necessary.
So it is good to know the culture of the place.
Or just follow what other people are doing.
Yes, good observation.
Another funny moment is when the total price comes and you are like, oh, that is more than I expected.
Yes, especially when you ordered many things.
Did I eat this much?
Yes, surprise bill.
Food was small, bill is big.
Very interesting situation.
Paying can be by cash or card.
Yes, you can say, can I pay by card? Or do you accept cash?
Very simple and useful.
Sometimes the card machine does not work.
Yes, technical problems always come at the wrong time.
Perfect timing.
Then you say, I will wash dishes.
Old solution.
Very classic.
After paying, people usually say thank you and leave.
Yes, simple and polite.
And sometimes say the food was very good.
That is always nice to say.
Overall, ordering and eating at a restaurant is not only about food, but also about communication and experience.
Yes, and even if your English is not perfect, people will understand you.
So don't be afraid. Just try, speak, and enjoy the moment.
In the next part, we will share some funny and real-life restaurant stories, and maybe some ordering mistakes.
Oh, those will be interesting.
Definitely.
Brian, Now let's talk about some funny and real-life restaurant situations, because, this is where things get really interesting and sometimes a little embarrassing.
Yeah, very true. Because no matter how much you practice, something unexpected always happens in real life.
Yes, like when you try to say something correctly, but the sentence comes out completely wrong.
Yes, like instead of saying, I'd like a burger, you say, I like burger me.
That sounds very confused.
The burger is also confused.
Do you like me or do you want me?
Very deep question.
I also remember a funny situation where someone wanted to order fried rice, but they said friend rice.
Friend rice?
Yes, and the waiter was like, rice with friends?
Special dish. Comes with 2 friends.
That's actually a good offer.
Buy 1 rice, get 2 friends.
Best restaurant ever.
Another funny moment is when people mix up similar words.
Like what?
Like saying sheet and seat, but saying it wrong.
Yes, pronunciation is very important.
Very important for safety.
Yes, very important.
Sometimes people also forget simple words.
Yes, like they know the word at home, but in the restaurant they forget everything.
Brain says no English today.
Yes, brain takes a break.
I am off today. Please try tomorrow.
That happens a lot.
Another funny situation is when the waiter asks something and you don't understand, but you still answer.
Yes, dangerous moment.
The waiter asks, do you want that medium or well done? And you say, yes.
Yes to what?
Surprise cooking style.
Very exciting.
Or when the waiter asks something quickly and you just smile and nod.
Yes, and then something unexpected arrives.
Like a very spicy dish.
And you were not ready.
Tears start coming.
Not from emotion, from spice.
Very spicy experience.
I think another funny moment is when people try to speak Brian, now let's talk about some funny and real-life restaurant situations, because, this is where things get really interesting and sometimes a little embarrassing.
Yeah, very true. Because no matter how much you practice, something unexpected always happens in real life.
Yes, like when you try to say something correctly, but the sentence comes out completely wrong.
Yes, like instead of saying, I'd like a burger, you say, I like burger me.
That sounds very confused.
The burger is also confused.
Do you like me or do you want me?
Very deep question.
I also remember a funny situation where someone wanted to order fried rice, but they said friend rice.
Friend rice?
Yes, and the waiter was like, rice with friends?
Special dish. Comes with 2 friends.
That's actually a good offer.
Buy 1 rice, get 2 friends.
Best restaurant ever.
Another funny moment is when people mix up similar words.
Like what?
Like saying sheet and seat, but saying it wrong.
Yes, pronunciation is very important.
Very important for safety.
Yes, very important.
Sometimes people also forget simple words.
Yes, like they know the word at home, but in the restaurant they forget everything.
Brain says no English today.
Yes, brain takes a break.
I am off today. Please try tomorrow.
That happens a lot.
Another funny situation is when the waiter asks something and you don't understand, but you still answer.
Yes, dangerous moment.
The waiter asks, do you want that medium or well done? And you say, yes.
Yes to what?
Surprise cooking style.
Very exciting.
Or when the waiter asks something quickly and you just smile and nod.
Yes, and then something unexpected arrives.
Like a very spicy dish.
And you were not ready.
Tears start coming.
Not from emotion, from spice.
Very spicy experience.
I think another funny moment is when people try to speak very fast English in a restaurant.
Yes, they try to sound fluent, but then they make more mistakes.
Like, I would like chicken and rice and water, and then they stop.
No breathing.
Yes, no space.
The waiter is like, slow down.
Yes, it is better to speak slowly and clearly.
I also think it is funny when people try to pronounce menu words in a very, creative way.
Yes, creative pronunciation.
The waiter tries to understand like a puzzle,
What is that?
but usually they understand from context.
Yes, and that is important. People will try to understand you, so you don't need to be perfect.
Exactly. Communication is more important than perfect grammar,
So don't be afraid of making mistakes, even funny ones.
because sometimes mistakes create the best stories.
Very true.
We will continue with more real situations and maybe talk about how to sound more natural and confident while ordering.
That will be very helpful.
Definitely.
Brian, I think we should help listeners sound more natural and confident when they order, because sometimes people know the words, but they don't feel comfortable using them.
Yeah. Ooh, that's very true. Like, they understand everything, but when it's time to speak, they feel nervous and start overthinking.
Yes, and then the sentence becomes too complicated.
Yes. Like, instead of saying, I'd like a coffee, they say, I would like to request for a 1 cup of coffee beverage.
That sounds very formal.
Very professional coffee.
The coffee is like, wow, big order.
Yes, even the coffee feels important.
So one tip is to keep sentences simple and natural.
Yes, simple sentences like, can I have or I'd like are perfect.
Like, can I have a sandwich, please, is clear and polite.
Yeah, no need to make it too long.
Short and clear is better than long and confusing.
Yes, less talking, more eating.
Best idea.
Another tip is using a friendly tone.
Yes, even simple words sound better when you speak politely.
Like saying please and thank you.
And also smiling a little.
Even if your English is not perfect, a smile helps a lot.
Yes, smiling is universal language.
Everyone understands smile.
Another important thing is listening carefully.
Yes, because the waiter might ask questions.
Like, do you want anything to drink? Or would you like fries with that?
And sometimes people answer wrong because they didn't listen.
Yes, like waiter asks hot or cold and you say yes.
Yes to everything.
Very flexible answer.
Surprise temperature.
Very exciting.
Also, it's okay to take a little time before ordering.
Yes, you can say, can I have a minute if you are not ready?
That is very normal.
No need to panic.
No need to order quickly like a race.
Yes, not a competition.
Another tip is repeating your order if needed.
Yes, this helps avoid mistakes.
Like, so 1 chicken sandwich and 1 juice.
Simple and clear.
No surprises later.
Yes, no surprise spicy food.
Or surprise friend rice.
That one again.
Very famous dish now.
I think confidence comes with practice.
Yes, the more you try, the easier it becomes.
And don't be afraid of making small mistakes.
Because sometimes mistakes create funny stories.
Yes, and good memories.
We will finish this topic with a full example conversation and a nice closing.
Ooh, that will be very helpful for practice.
Definitely.
Brian, let's do a simple full example conversation so listeners can hear how a real situation sounds from beginning to end.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a great idea. Because hearing a full conversation helps people feel more confident in real life.
Okay, let's imagine we walk into a restaurant together.
Okay. Hello, table for 2, please.
Yes, 2 people.
And then the waiter says, please come this way.
We sit down and the waiter gives us the menu.
Here's the menu. Take your time.
Okay. I'm looking at the menu. Ooh, so many options.
Yes, this is the difficult part.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
The waiter comes back and says, are you ready to order?
Yes, I'd like a chicken sandwich, please.
And I'll have a burger and a glass of water, please.
And the waiter asks, would you like fries with that?
Ooh, yes, of course.
Always yes.
Fries are very important.
Then the waiter says, anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
After some time, the food arrives.
Ooh, finally.
Best moment.
Enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
Then we start eating and stop talking.
Yes, full focus on food.
After eating, we want the bill.
Excuse me, can we have the bill, please?
Sure.
Then we check the bill. Looks okay.
Not too expensive. Good.
Yes, lucky day.
I'll pay by card.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. The food was very good.
Yes, thank you.
That was a simple and natural restaurant conversation, and as you can hear, we used very basic and easy English.
Yes, no complicated sentences, just clear and polite communication.
So, listeners, don't worry too much about grammar or perfect words. Just focus on speaking clearly and confidently.
And remember, it's okay to say, sorry, can you repeat that, if you don't understand something.
Yes, better to ask than to get fried rice again.
Yes, very important lesson.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Smart English Podcast and practicing with us.
We hope you enjoyed this topic and feel more confident about ordering at a restaurant in English.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and don't be afraid to make small mistakes.
We will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care and enjoy your meals.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more English learning videos. See you in the next episode.